My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full UFC fight cards. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. And we're also giving away $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets, signs up with one of our 5 betting partners, and makes a deposit, will get $50 from us. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, however you want it. And this is brought to you by EarnU.io. EarnU.io is the world's first sports and esports prediction game, allowing you to earn crypto risk-free. Check it out now at EarnU.io. Next up, at UFC Vegas 54, we have Michael Johnson taking on Alan Patrick. Michael Johnson, it is sad to see his record at 19-17 because at one point in time, Michael Johnson was like really putting it together and was turning into somebody. But Michael Johnson, 19-17 overall, 1-4 in his last 5, and he's riding a 4-fight skid. Alan Patrick, 15-3 overall, 2-1 in his last 5, coming back after a year layoff. And Michael Johnson's coming back after his own year away from the cage. And it was a loss to Clay Guida. And fun fact, well, we both picked Clay Guida in that fight, but that was Jacob's
Wow,
first
you're going to
ever...
like steal my shine? That's crazy that you just say that. Like I wouldn't remember that or something.
All right, I'll leave it alone. When Jacob talks, he'll walk you through that. Michael Johnson, he's a talented guy. He's had incredibly tough competition slate. I mentioned I hate seeing that his record is 19-7 because he is good, and there was a period in time where he was going to do something. But if you look at his 13 losses in the UFC, and you might be like, holy crap, that's a lot of losses in the UFC. How is he still here? His record's almost 500. He lost to Beneil Dariush, Nate Diaz, Khabib, Justin Gaethje, Darren Elkins, Thiago Moises, and Clay Guida. And this is like all at their prime. So he's had a really, really tough competition slate. But he's good everywhere. He's a talented fighter, a talented striker. He doesn't have a ton of power, but he does have nice footwork. He's got a positive striking differential at around a half a strike above, to make it positive. And that's impressive considering who his opponents were. A typical path to victory against Michael Johnson would be to get him to the ground. He has taken down in all 4 of his UFC losses. And Alan Patrick, he's coming back to the UFC, and he's a grappler. He charges forward with giant punches, gets takedowns from there. His striking is not pretty, but it is effective for what he's trying to do. He has 23 takedowns in 9 fights, and there's absolutely no secrets what he's looking to do. He does have a negative striking differential. We talked about this last week. That always surprises me when you get grapplers because, frankly, they grapple. This guy has 23 takedowns, and he still somehow managed to get hit more than he hit somebody else, and that's a big red flag there. His last fight is a no contest to Mason Jones, and that was because of an eye poke, but he was on his way to lose that fight too. And this should be a really easy pick for Michael Johnson. And Michael Johnson is my pick. He's a more well-rounded guy. He's fought the higher level of competition. He has more ways to win. The problem is that he does lose fights that he can't keep standing. And Allen averages more than 3 takedowns per fight. The other problem is that ever since the Black Zillions broke up, so if you guys don't know who the Black Zillions are, look it up. It was a team of American top team misfits and some others all got together. Glenn Robinson laid out a bunch of money. They started a new gym. And Michael Johnson really thrived there. That's when he hit that nice streak in his career. Then Glenn Robinson died. Black Zillions disbanded. And he's at Sanford MMA. Sanford MMA is sort of the Black Zillions 2.0. There was an output of that. But he has just literally never been the same since then. Just straight up never been the same since then. That is a concern, but I got to go Michael Johnson here. He is the pick, but if the dude loses his 5th fight in a row, I mean, that's it. Hang him up. He's just never going to be the same. What do you think, Jackie boy?
Yeah, there's like 4 people that I think of when I look at their record. I think, wow, they're way better than the record shows. Michael Johnson's one. I think BJ Penn definitely is one. Mark Hunt is another one where I think Mark Hunt's like 13-14, but he had some unbelievable fights and some money. And Ryan Hall, I think, is the other one. So, but yeah, you mentioned Michael Johnson. Unfortunately, was the first casualty to lock of the week. He started the whole thing off. I was 0-2 up to that point, about to give it up. Threw my life savings on Clay Guida. and he dominated the fight on the ground with his pace and pressure. So that was the inaugural lock of the week was Clay Guida versus Michael Johnson, and that really kind of, I think, is going to set his career on the uptrend. I think that's rock bottom. Because when you lose to the lock, especially at this point, we've lost a couple in a row. If you lose the lock, it's kind of rock bottom. But his trajectory's going up now. He's definitely the more talented fighter in this matchup. And Alan Patrick, he's one of those guys that is getting older. And in his last fight, he looked like he was getting older. He was doing just some, like, in there like he didn't even give a shit. All these, like, wild spinning back fists, blew his load. His takedowns looked slow and telegraphed. Mason Jones had no issues defending all of them. And then he was just exhausted at the end of the first round. Went back to I think he was crawling back to his stool. And then at the end of the round, after his rest time, he could barely get off the stool. He looked bad. He looked awful. I wanted to pick him in this matchup because in his wrestling, in his grappling, it usually is very, very strong, and that's where he excels. And I could see him maybe get a takedown and threatening submission versus Michael Johnson in the first round. But if this gets past 3 minutes of the first round, this should be a Michael Johnson fight all the way. So I'm Michael Johnson. He's way better than his 1917 record shows. And if he shows up and wants to be here, he should pretty much dominate this fight, I think, especially if he can survive that first kind of 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting fight for sure. We got some people in the live chat making comments about some picks and stuff. Here's the thing, guys. Go to WeWantPicks.com/vote. Everybody that thinks they can do this better than us, go list your picks. Go make some votes. We record them. We'll go back. We'll take a look. And we'll see who is good and who is not good. And the good news is, if you get all your picks correct at WeWantPicks.com/vote, we send you $100 as a congratulations. So everybody that thinks they're a genius, because there's a lot of you people that think you're geniuses, you have 2 options. WeWantPicks.com/vote. Try to get yourself $100, or go to our free Discord. There is a link in the description. We have a whole channel dedicated to your picks. List them out. I'm happy to review them.
Everybody love everybody.
Oh, I'm happy to do it. Everybody thinks they're a genius.
Everybody love everybody.
How often do people do the laugh emoji? How often do people do that stupid laugh emoji? And then I respond, then list your picks. And then they
don't say LOL or laugh emoji or Angelo's going down your fucking throat. I mean, there's no holding this dude back. You put LOL, gloves are off. He's coming.
Nah, it's very easy. You think you have amazing picks? Publicize them as we do, and let's compare. It is the easiest thing in the world to do. Don't pinpoint one single pick and pretend you're a genius. All or nothing. You're a bunch of dorks. Michael Johnson, 8,400 in DraftKings. Not all of you. Some of you are amazing, including Solar Warden with that $50 super chat. $8,400 for Michael Johnson. Man, it's hard to lay out money on a guy on a 4-fight win streak who is not really a stoppage kind of guy. What do you think?
No thanks.
Yeah, that is a little tricky. And honestly, Alan Patrick with the takedown potential, if he was a much, like $7,200, that might be worth it. 78 is quite a bit to spend. I do like the more than the Monkey Knife Fight strike line. I think this is kind of a sloppy war. And I say war loosely. I think it goes to a decision. I honestly think it's a little sloppy. So I like more Monkey Knife Fight. You agree?
Oh, it's gonna be a sloppy mess. Alan Patrick's gonna be in there doing some wild shit. So, more.
All right. Well, more on Monkey Knife Fight is our play. WeOnPicks.com/MKF. Sign up, make a deposit. They will instantly match that deposit up to 100 schmackaroos. And if you want 50 free bucks, WeOnPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 for freeze.